Operation Provide Hope.
The airlift, much like this one to Moscow last December, will carry food and medicine left over from the Persian Gulf War to all 12 of the former Soviet republics. Operation Provide Hope consists of 54 flights. The first departs February 10th from Rhein-Main Air Base, Germany. The airlift will continue for 2 weeks. Some flights will leave from Ankara Airport and Incirlik Air Base, Turkey. Air Force cargo planes will transport a total of nearly $40 million worth of bulk food rations and medical supplies, including antibiotics. Most of it will go to needy institutions.
What we will be looking at as we get our people over there will be schools, old age or senior citizens' homes, homeless facilities, hospitals, orphanages, where people may not be able to get out into the system and go through the process of getting food.
The State Department named former Assistant Defense Secretary Richard Armitage to supervise the delivery of the aid in the former republics. Officials say the airlift is a symbolic gesture to tell the ex-Soviets that the U.S. and its allies want to wage a new peace.
It is a different world. It is a new ball game. And we want to cooperate, we want to assist, and we want to do all we can through these humanitarian assistance donations to get them through this period.
Dr. Walthia says the 54 flights of Operation Provide Hope are just the beginning of a much larger worldwide aid package to follow by surface transportation. But he says it's too early to tell just what role the U.S. military will play in those missions. Army Sergeant Jay Field, the Pentagon.
Officials at Rhein-Main Air Base say these high-priority relief missions of food and medical supplies will begin Sunday morning. Unfortunately, nighttime flying is unavoidable. The initial surge of 12 flights, combined with the need to arrive and depart from the destination in daylight, requires the aircraft to depart Frankfurt in the early morning hours. Ramstein is not expected to become actively involved in the humanitarian effort. However, area residents there may notice an increase in C-5 and C-141 air traffic in the Rhineland-Pfalz area near Ramstein. The U.S. Army Medical Center Europe is readying medical supplies to be shipped to the Baltic states and to other locations of the former Soviet Union as part of Operation Provide Hope. Linda Frost reports from Pirmasens.
Just 4 years ago, it was impossible to imagine sending medical supplies to a country that was once considered an enemy of the U.S. Now it's history in the making. 7th METCOM personnel at the U.S. Army Medical Materials Center here are part of a goodwill mission. They're helping our former enemy get back on their feet.
Today we're pulling a load of medical stocks to send on a humanitarian assistance mission to the Baltic states. We're pulling about 2.5 plane loads worth of medical supplies, and these supplies are going to be distributed to the countries of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia.
7th METCOM officials say that $930,000 worth of medical supplies will be shipped.
These are primarily pharmaceuticals. We have some really outstanding antibiotics, one ciprofloxacin, which are left over from Operation Desert Storm that we won't be able to use prior to their expiration. So we're real happy to be able to send these to these countries for the assistance program.
There have been no specific requests. However, it is known that medical materials for inpatient and outpatient care are desperately needed.
Right now, what we're trying to focus in on are needs of the immediate healthcare situation in the Soviet Union. They're having extreme shortages on syringes and other type of materials like that. And what we are trying to do is match these shortages up with what supplies we can provide.
The medical supplies are loaded on trucks and transported to Rhein-Main Air Base, where the pallets are placed on military aircraft. The first airlift for Operation Provide Hope begins on Monday. In Pirmasens, Germany, Linda Frost, AFN News.
As the troops draw down, so do the civilians. TV5's Doug Rule looks at what the civilian personnel offices are doing to minimize the impact.
The drawdown of troops in Europe also means the drawdown of civilian employees supporting those troops. This process is difficult, but has been screened carefully by the military commanders.
I think it's important that people realize that there's been interest from the top down, command level, DoD level, in minimizing impact that's adverse to civilian employees, and that was the whole purpose of protracted hiring freezes that we've been under. We drew the civilian component down by attrition. It's worked very well. We draw it down as troop units leave. They take their family members with them. That's also worked to draw the force down. And there's been a very careful and selective look at who gets extended in USER, because we don't need to extend people that are going to be in excess. So the command's done an excellent job in bringing down the level to this point.
But the levels may have to go lower, so the command groups are seeking other options, like early retirements, and local civilian personnel offices are also doing what they can.
Whatever we can do that realistically is in concert with the goals of the command to save people and jobs, we're doing. And I think if I could just assure people of one thing, it is that they have the support of their command from the top down in making that happen and minimizing hardship and adverse impact.
As the job situation is readjusted and people go through a time of confusion, the civilian employees